Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome to my channel. Today I will be reviewing these Magicfly watercoloring brush pens that I bought off of Amazon. Now, I paid a little over $13 or a little under $14, depending on how you look at it, for this set of 6 brush pens. I'll leave a link in the description, of course, but they also have kind of like a sale type deal where if you buy 2 sets, you get the second set half off. So instead of paying $26 and change, you would actually be paying $20. So that is pretty awesome. I paid about $13 and change for this Pentel Aquash water brush, so to be able to get 6 brushes for just the price of this one is pretty awesome, especially because, spoiler alert, they are really awesome brushes and I do quite enjoy them. The Pentel Aquash water brush is also pretty awesome too, and it's very unique in style, so I'm glad that I have that as well. So this set of 6 brush pens has 3 flat brush tips and 3 rounded point brushes. So the flat brush tips measure at 10mm, 7mm, and 4mm, and the 3 rounded ones measure at 5mm, 4mm, and 3mm. They're nylon brushes. They're easy to use. It says that you can use them just with water, or you can add water to the barrel and add ink to it as well and use them as ink brushes. It does have a note here that says, please make the water less than 2/3 of the pen's volume when filling, so you'd have to keep that into consideration. They're also dishwasher friendly, and since they're see-through, you can see the amount of water in them, which I think most brush pens are anyways. But it says that there should be no leaks around the seal. Excuse me, and there actually isn't. I didn't notice any leaking whatsoever with any of these brush pens. It says no spread or smear, high quality nylon brush tips that stay intact and do not spray, spread, or smear while in use. But I do have to say that the large flat brush does kind of spread a little bit when you're using it, but I imagine that most of us probably would not be using the largest brush pen in there anyways, unless you're doing, you know, like big watercolor canvases, in which case it probably wouldn't matter if it spreads at all. So I'll leave that up to you on whether that would be a problem or not. So this case that they come in can also double as a carrying case. It has some pretty sturdy plastic, and I thought that that was an insert that kind of slid out, but it is actually the front of the case that has like the little chiseled parts where the brush clips on the cap stick in. So I thought that was pretty handy. So if you wanted to just keep them and carry them around in the case, then it's pretty awesome, and they're safe and they all stay together. So here is the large flat brush pen, and as you can see, some of the bristles are kind of sticking out. I feel like when they put the cap on this one, not all the bristles were in properly, so that kind of bent some of them, which isn't too big of a problem. It's a quick fix. You just snip the bent bristles as close to the bottom as you can, and then it shouldn't bother you whatsoever. So here is the medium flat brush pen. This is the one that should measure 7mm. And then the small flat brush pen. This is the large round tip brush. I did notice for the round ones that they were kind of stuck together. It didn't say on Amazon whether there was a certain way to kind of soften them up, but I noticed just kind of playing and bending the bristles just gently got rid of whatever was holding them together. So here is the medium flat brush pen. This is the one that should measure 7mm. And then the small flat brush pen. Okay, so I filled up these water brushes to probably way less than 2/3. I pretty much just filled them up just under where the brushes say push on them. And we're just going to do a general test here just to see how well the brushes perform generally. So the top is the flat large, flat medium, flat small, and then the round large, round medium, and round small. So there you can see where it says push, and again I just filled the water just up to there, so it leaves quite a bit of the barrel left empty, which I believe is how it's supposed to be. I just gently pressed on the pen until I could see the water going through the chamber, and from what I noticed, quite a bit of water does come out at first, but after that, I feel like you don't even really have to press the pen at all. It's almost like the water just gradually continues coming out. If your brush gets too dry though, you just press gently again, wait until the large amount of water comes out, and then again it will just kind of continue to flow smoothly. It was a little bit of a learning curve, but I feel like any water brush pen kind of has, you know, its own little characteristics that you have to get used to. So these ones were a little quirky, but I absolutely love them. I haven't even been using my Pentel water brush since I got these. And I just absolutely love having the different sizes to play around with.
Told me not to worry. You said that we could pick up where we left off, but all that I could think of are your eyes so blue, your hair so soft. To know that if I keep living in the past, I'll never really make it back. I'll never get to hold you how I meant to. I'm saying hey, 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 won't you let me sing a song about never letting go? I'm saying hey, 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 won't you let me love you? Just give me a yes or no. Just give me a yes or no. Won't you let me love you? Just give me a yes or no. I know it's been a while now. You're taking over parts I've never heard of. I'm trying to figure out how I can show you now how I've been running out of things to think about in between my dreams of you and me. I'm saying hey, 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 won't you let me sing a song about never letting go? I'm saying hey, 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 hey.
So I recorded this part of the video quite a while after I recorded the previous parts. I figured that I should probably show the brush strokes for the pens, just because not everybody would be using them for adult coloring like I intend to use them for. So for those of you that are watching this review that actually do any kind of watercolor or ink work that want to see how these brushes perform stroke-wise, this is for you. So we're starting off with the small round brush, and using just the tip of it you can get a really nice fine line, and pushing down on the brush a little bit you can get a little bit of a thicker line, and you can get a little bit of a ribbon effect with this brush, but not much. So then we have the medium round brush. And again, using just the tip, you can get a nice fine line, and then pushing down, you can get a thicker line. This one does do a little bit better, doing a ribbon-looking stroke. And for those of you watching that don't know what a ribbon stroke is, it's where it's thicker and then goes into being thinner and then back into thicker, and so on. And then the large round brush, I feel like this one almost has the finest point to it. These brushes hold a super nice point, so all three of the round brushes are really good for doing fine lines. But this one is nice because it has a super fine point, but then it also has a very thick line to it if you push on the bristles a bit. And this one also does really nice ribbon lines. Next is the small flat brush. On its side, going straight up and down, it produces a thinner line, and then up and down the other way. Sorry, my brain is just blanking. You get a bit of a thicker line. And this one is probably my absolute favorite for getting ribbon lines. They just look so beautiful. So this one would be awesome if you're doing curly hair or something on a portrait in watercolor. And the medium flat brush, I got a little bit ahead of myself. I figured this one and the large flat brush I probably wouldn't use very often, so I went ahead and I took the medium brush and put some cuticle oil in it, and I decided to use it as a cuticle pen. So unfortunately I cannot show you the brush strokes of the medium flat brush, and I apologize for that. But on another note, they do work very well using oils too, so those are pretty good brushes if they can hold oils. So next is the large flat brush pen. And for this pen, you can actually kind of see that it does splay quite a bit. You can get a fairly thin line on its side, and then here you can kind of see that the brush splays a bit in the middle. You can tell because it's a little bit darker on the left, and as you get to the right there's like a white line almost in between, and then it's lighter on the other side just because of how I put the pigment on. But there in the ribbon you can really see that the brush splays apart and it leaves a little bit of a white line there, which can be kind of annoying depending on what you're trying to use the brush for. For me personally, like I said, I don't really see myself using this brush. It's too big. But I will leave that up to you on whether this would be a problem, and you know, it could just be the brush that I got. There might not be a problem with all of the large flat brushes. I can't really say. So here's the picture that I colored in the speed color, which is up next. You can watch that if you'd like, but this is pretty much the end of the review. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I colored that as well for the my Derwent Ink Tense haul. And then I also colored the background of this Jasmine Beckett Griffith page in her coloring book, A Fantasy Art Adventure. So, and I haven't refilled these brushes once. I mostly used the small round brush and the medium round brush, and they still had a fair bit of water in them, so the water in the brushes do last for quite a while depending on how much you're using them. So I am definitely happy with that. But anyway guys, this is the end of the review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or anything that I didn't answer in this video, go ahead and comment them down below.